The Staples Center lights hit differently this season, and I've been watching something unfold that's bigger than any single game, any single performance, any single moment. There's a shift happening in Los Angeles that represents the end of one chapter and the beginning of another. And the way this franchise navigates the next few months will define Lakers basketball for the decade. I'm seeing patterns in rotations, hearing conversations that matter, and analyzing decisions that tell a story most people haven't fully grasped. By the time we finish this conversation, you're going to understand exactly why the next phase of Lakers basketball is already here, and why the transition we're witnessing is both inevitable and necessary for sustained championship success. Welcome back to Lakers News Fan Report, where I bring you the real analysis, the strategic breakdown, and the insights that go beyond box scores and highlight reel. This is your destination for understanding not just what's happening with the Lakers, why it's happened, and what it means champion. If you're serious about following this team with the depth it deserves, make sure you're subscribed, because we're diving deep into every move, every strategy, and every decision that shapes the future of Lakers basketball. Hit that notification bell, because the NBA moves fast where you'll get the information. Let me start by taking you back to February of this year, because that's when everything changed. The trade that brought Luka Dončić to Los Angeles and sent Anthony Davis to Dallas was seismic. It polarized the entire basketball world. People questioned the wisdom of trading a dominant two-way force like AD for someone who, despite his offensive brilliance, had never won a championship. The criticism was immediate and intense. Social media exploded with takes about the Lakers making a desperate move, about giving up on a proven championship formula, about disrupting the chemistry that had brought us success. I remember sitting here, right where I am now, telling you that we needed to trust the process and see how this played out. The initial games were rocky. The adjustment period was real. Integrating a ball-dominant superstar like Dončić into an established system takes time, takes patience, and takes buy-in from everyone involved. But then something clicked. The offense started flowing. The chemistry started building. And Reaves, freed up to play a different role, began showcasing skills we always knew he had but hadn't seen utilized. And Luka started being Luka. Fast forward to today, and the Lakers are sitting at 15 wins, 4 losses. That's not just a good record. That's elite. That's championship caliber basketball. We're watching one of the most efficient offenses in the NBA, a system that's creating open looks, generating high percentage shots, and putting up points in bunches. Dončić is averaging numbers that put him firmly in the MVP conversation. His court vision, scoring ability, his clutch gene in fourth quarters, it's everything we hoped for. And more. The man is 26 years old, entering the absolute prime of career, and he's doing it while wearing purple and gold. Austin Reaves deserves his own moment of recognition, because his breakout has been one of the season's most pleasant surprises. We always believed in his potential, but seeing him average career highs across the board while playing with increased confidence and aggression has been incredible. His three-point shooting percentage jumped significantly. His ability to create his own shot has evolved. His defensive intensity has improved. Reaves is no longer just a complimentary player. He's becoming a legitimate third star on a championship contending team. Now I need you to stay with me, because this is where the conversation gets complex and requires us to think beyond just wins. LeBron James is 41 years old. Let me repeat that, because the number itself tells a story. 41. That's an age when most NBA players have been retired for years. The fact that LeBron is still averaging over 20 points per game, still making plays that leave us in awe, still competing at a high level, is a testament to his greatness and his longevity. Nobody is questioning his ability to contribute. Nobody is saying he can't play. The sciatica issues in his left leg have caused him to miss some games for load management, which is completely understandable and necessary at this stage of his career. But here's the reality that we need to address as intelligent Lakers fans who understand how championship windows work in the NBA. The Lakers have Luka Dončić locked in for the next several years. They have Austin Reaves emerging as a cornerstone piece. They have young talent developing and contributing. The organizational timeline is now centered around Dončić's prime years, which means the next 7 to 8 seasons. LeBron's timeline, by the biological nature of aging and career longevity, doesn't extend that far. This isn't criticism. This isn't disrespect. This is simply acknowledging the mathematics of professional basketball career. I've been following the rotation patterns closely, and there's been a noticeable shift in how minutes are distributed. Early in the season, when LeBron was sitting out games for load management, something interesting happened. The team didn't just survive without him. They thrived. The offense actually flowed more freely. Younger players got extended minutes and showed they could handle increased responsibility. The system demonstrated its versatility and depth. That's significant data that coach and management absolutely analyzing. Let me be clear about something before anyone misinterprets this analysis. LeBron James is a Lakers legend. His contributions to this franchise, his championship in 2020, his leadership, his mentorship of younger players, all of that is etched in Lakers history forever. When we talk about the possibility of LeBron's time with the Lakers coming to an end, we're not diminishing his legacy or being ungrateful. We're having an honest conversation about roster construction, competitive windows, and strategic planning that championship organizations must engage in continuously. There have been reports from respected analysts suggesting that if the Lakers organization had a choice between continuing with LeBron or transitioning fully into the Dončić era, they would choose the latter. That's not a reflection on LeBron's game at 41. It's a calculation about age, timeline, and maximizing the championship window with a 26 super. Teams that win multiple championships are the ones willing to make difficult decisions at the right moment, not the ones that wait until circumstances force their hand. Think about this from a financial perspective as well. LeBron's contract represents a significant portion of the salary cap. That money, if redirected toward younger talent that aligns with Dončić's timeline, could bring in players who contribute for the next 5 to 7 years rather than just the next year or two. The Lakers need to surround Dončić with sustainable pieces, players who can grow together, develop chemistry over multiple seasons, and compete at the highest level prime. Every dollar matters in roster construction, and allocating resources toward long-term assets rather than short-term contributions is how you build dynasties rather than just winning single championships. The emotional element here is real, and I'm not ignoring it. Lakers fans have watched LeBron orchestrate incredible moments. His basketball IQ is unmatched. His ability to elevate teammates is legendary. The thought of him playing elsewhere or retiring feels strange because he's been such a central figure in Lakers basketball for years now. But emotions can't be the primary driver of strategic decisions when championships are the goal. Front offices that make decisions based on sentimentality rather than analytics and strategic planning are the ones that find themselves stuck in mediocrity. Let's talk about the on-court dynamic specifically. With Dončić as the primary ball-hand offensive initiator, the roles of everyone else on the floor shift. Dončić operates best shooters spaced around him, athletes who can cut hard to the basket, and defenders who can guard multiple positions. LeBron, despite his versatility, plays a similar role as Dončić in terms of needing the ball in his hands to maximize his impact. Having two players who both thrive with high usage rates can create diminishing return. One of them, 26, and in his prime, the other is 41, and managing his body through a long season. The choice about who should be the focal point isn't complex when viewed objectively. Austin Reaves' emergence has added another layer to this conversation. Reaves has shown he can be a secondary playmaker, clutch scorer, and a reliable defender. His development has been accelerated by increased opportunities and responsibility. If the Lakers commit fully to the Dončić-Reaves duo as their foundation, they can build around specific strength and create a cohesive that everyone buys into completely. Role definition becomes clearer. Younger players understand their trajectory, and the culture gets established around the long-term core. I want to address the load management aspect because it's relevant to this entire discussion. LeBron has already sat out multiple games this season, rest leg. As the season progresses, especially into the playoff push, potential postseason, those rest days will likely increase. That's not a criticism. That's smart management, a 41-year-old body that's endured 2 decades of professional basketball. However, championship teams need their best players available for the most important game. If there's uncertainty about availability, that factors into strategic planning and roster decision. The broader NBA landscape also matters here. If the Lakers were to explore moving LeBron, whether through trade or facilitating a situation situation where he could pursue another opportunity, the return value would still be substantial. Teams looking for veteran leadership, championship experience, and a player who can still contribute at a high level would absolutely be interested. The Lakers could acquire assets, whether draft picks or young talent, that further strengthen their foundation. Cold business calculation, but championship organizations make these evaluations constant. There's also the scenario where LeBron chooses to retire as a Laker, which would be a fitting end to his legendary career. He's accomplished everything possible in basketball. His legacy is secure. His impact on the game is undeniable. Retiring at the top, still capable of high-level play, is something few athletes achieve. If LeBron decides that 41 is the right time to step away, Lakers Nation would celebrate everything he's given to the franchise and to basketball. That door remains open, and nobody would question. What excites me most as a Lakers fan isn't dwelling on endings, focusing on beginning. Luka Dončić represents potentially the greatest player in franchise history when his career is complete. That's not hyperbole, that's recognizing the trajectory of a 26-year-old who's already performing at an MVP level and has another decade of elite basketball ahead of him. The Lakers have positioned themselves to compete for championships throughout that entire period. They have a young, developing roster with players who fit the modern NBA. They have coaching that's proven it can adjust and optimize. They have a front office making strategic decisions with the long view in mind. Austin Reaves, averaging career highs and looking like a future all-star, gives the Lakers a second cornerstone piece who's only 23 years old. The timeline alignment between Dončić and Reaves is perfect. They can grow together, develop chemistry over years rather than months, and build something truly special. Adding complementary pieces around those, maintaining financial flexibility, is the path to sustained excellence. I remain incredibly optimistic about Lakers basketball. The 15-4 start isn't an accident. It's reflection, talent, system, and strategic construction. Whether LeBron finishes this season with the Lakers or this marks the end of his time in Los Angeles, the franchise is positioned beautifully for the future. Dončić is that generational talent franchise dream about. Reaves, perfect complementary star. The supporting cast is developing. The culture is being established. Everything is pointing toward a new era of Lakers dominance. The reality is that professional sports require difficult decisions. Organizations that avoid those decisions, that prioritize comfort over optimization, rarely sustain champions. The Lakers have never been that. From the Showtime era to the Shaq and Kobe dynasty to the championship runs we've seen over decades, this franchise makes bold moves when necessary. Transitioning from LeBron to Dončić as the face of the franchise, if that's the direction chosen, would be another example of the Lakers thinking strategically rather than emotionally. So completed. LeBron James, at 41, can still play high-level basketball. His ability to average over 20 points per game while managing sciatica and the wear of a two-decade career is remarkable. However, the Lakers' championship window is now built around Luka Dončić's prime years. Strategic roster structure, financial flexibility, and timeline all point toward the organization needing to make decisions max 7 to 8 years rather than the next 1-2. Whether that means LeBron moving to another team that can utilize his remaining years differently, or him choosing to retire as a Laker having accomplished everything possible, the franchise is prepared for both scenarios. What matters most is that the Lakers are positioned for sustained success with a 26-year-old superstar leading the way, a breakout star in Austin Reaves alongside him, and a strategic vision that prioritizes long-term excellence. Before I wrap this up, I need to hear from you in the comments below. How do you feel about the possibility of LeBron's time with the Lakers coming to an end? Do you think the organization should prioritize the Dončić timeline over keeping LeBron for his remaining year? Would you support trading LeBron if it brought back assets that strengthen the team around Luka? How do you balance respecting LeBron's legacy with making strategic decisions for the franchise's future? This is a complex topic with no easy answers, and I want to know where Lakers Nation stands on this. If this deep analysis gave you perspective you weren't getting elsewhere, make sure you're subscribed to Lakers News Fan Report. I'm here every single day bringing you the breakdowns, strategic insights, and the honest conversation matter. Hit that like button if you appreciate the depth we go into, and share this video with fellow Lakers fans who want real analysis rather than surface-level take. The NBA moves quickly, and this is where you'll stay ahead of every development. I'll see you in the next, and as always, Lakers Nation, let's keep pushing toward banner number 8.